Hi there. Very good morning to all of you. Slightly late on this live Q&A session or live chat that I had to bring in, on this weekend. But I'm live here and I'm going to discuss about a couple of stocks, a little bit about the markets, and as well as will answer all your queries. So basically, as I'm not able to load the Q&A part, with respect to you can say Q&A session as a presentation. So I come here bi-weekly to answer all your queries. uh, Hi Vignesh. Hello there to all. Hello Tejraj, Binoy. Hi Harsha. Good morning. Uh, Let people join in here. I hope everyone is doing well. There has been another spike in the number of cases, so probably you need to be pretty safe at this point of time. I think next 2 months could be very difficult, and hence kindly stay at home as much as possible. Although I understand that many of you would be having your jobs and would need to go out, but I still request all of you to stay away from gatherings as much as possible and meet as less number of people as possible. Mother is doing okay. She's stable. uh, I won't say recovering, but stable. There is issues always up and down, but mother is fine. Thanks for asking. uh, We'll answer all your queries. We'll answer query on Kilpes. We'll answer queries on others. But for the first 5-10 minutes, I would just like to point out some points about the markets and a specific news that has just come out. Foxconn, which makes Apple's iPhones in US and probably globally, is ready to invest $1 billion here in India. Uh, to make iPhones here in India, and the investments will be big. Now, what could be the in impact for Indian stocks or for the stock market? Is there any stock that you can play with when we are talking of Foxconn? Probably Dixon Technology will be impacted. I don't know whether positively or negatively. Probably positively if it goes up and ties up with companies here in India. Uh, then Dixon would be the first choice because it is manufacturing mobile phones for Samsung and other companies as well. So Dixon, probably that's why it has been moving up quite well from 3100, 3150, which was the low made in March, and it has more than doubled from those levels in just 4 months. So I think there would be a spurt in Dixon even more, or maybe they'll be selling that it is after the news. So I don't know what would be the impact, but I think companies like Dixon will be impacted. Uh, Now we have to see whether it will be positive or negative. Uh, Foxconn, Foxconn's investment also tells us that there could be other companies coming in into the consumption domain from the global market chain and investing here in India. So there could be companies in retail, companies in consumption, other consumer domains, say ACs, etc., which could go ahead and invest. We have seen how investments have come in telecom with the Reliance Jio roping in so many investors. Then there are you can say investors that have got into something like an Airtel. So companies have got in companies have got into India with investments even in this difficult time frame. So in that regard, we could see further investments, and we need to tap those companies which are stable, which are strong in their own niche, and are doing very well. So you need to find out that there are companies in white goods, there are companies in consumer durables, in other sectors which could end up benefiting from this move from China to India. There are companies in chemicals which could benefit. Now, talking of chemicals, so two stocks I want to talk to you about, and one was Dixon. So I will not buy Dixon with such kind of a move already taking place. I would still wait for another 15-20% at least decline, 15% decline, even from any higher level. So it's difficult to now buy into a Dixon Technology at 6,300 after such a strong move. So I'll wait for declines to get into it. I'll not buy at these prices. Uh, Talking about stocks, I want to tell you one more thing, that if you join my Patreon membership, $10 membership, you'll have access to my watch list and portfolio, and whatever changes I make to portfolio. For the Patreon members, I want to say that I have made a little bit of change in my portfolio, and that is visible now on Patreon. Sold a bit of Tanla, but holding a lot of it. So I'm still holding a good quantity of Tanla still at lower levels, and sold a bit to just book some profits, etc. At around 75, 76. So similar kind of you can say updates you will get on Patreon with respect to my portfolio if I add in onto some shares, so you can get in there. And thanks a lot for all the patron members who are part of Patreon and supporting me there. Uh, so, talking about the stock, so this was about Dixon. A second stock I want to talk to you about, and there is a lot of talk about it, and that is IOL Chemicals. Uh, the stock went up vertically from 400, 380 levels, and is now staring at 700. I think I don't know whether it has crossed 700 or not, but it has just gone up 70, 80% in no time. Uh, it is probably because, not because of the results that had just come in, but it was because of the fact that they are selling two medicines, one medicine and one pharmaceutical product, which is selling big globally, and they are selling it at a very good premium and getting a lot of margin out of it, more than 20, 25% margin. And what it seems like is that the June quarter and the September quarter could be very interesting and very good going forward. So, in my opinion, it can be bought into, but not at these levels. Wait for again declines. Uh, Talking about declines, I'll come to the market now. See, if the markets are going up like this, we could see, if 10,850 is taken out with conviction, we could see 11,150, 200. But there will come a time where we may see a vertical fall in the market, and the fall could be very severe. And in that case, the weak hands will go away. The weak bulls which have got in at 10,600, 700 will go away, and we could see 10,400, 10,350 on the market, which is the 20 DMA. Uh, the 200 DMA is at 10,850, 900, and I still believe 10,850, 900 could be levels where one can look to exit. So these are the levels where one could look to exit rather than buy more of the stock. So in that regard, we could see a lot of selling coming in into stocks like IOL Chemicals going forward, and then you can get in. So probably a 15 to 20% decline from current levels could be a good opportunity to get into an IOL Chemicals from these levels. At 550, 540 could be good levels to get into an Airtel in that regard. But for IOL Chemicals, do not buy on such a rise as it has been taking place. All right, so I'm ready to take up your queries. So I'm going to spend the next 15, 20 minutes to answer your queries. Avoid IDFC First Bank. I have told this on many occasions that I am not in favor of buying into any banks or NBFCs. Uh, Most I would buy into an insurance company, maybe SBI Life, HDFC Life, or an HDFC Bank, and that's just about it. Frontier Springs, I would get in at 250, 260, round about those levels. I think there will be a decline of 10 to 15% in that as well when the market falls. I believe the market fall could take place around August, September, maybe at the end of July, maybe after the AGM of Reliance, and so on and so forth. So one has to be careful in that respect. Uh, Rosaria Biotech, I won't invest like immediately, but I will wait for an opening and then a decline in the stock, and then only get into such a stock. Rosary Biotech. Uh, Sundaram Clayton is good. It is into auto ancillary. Probably, if you are invested, then you can wait for 2 to 3 years for this to play out, because at this current price, in this current environment, autos and auto ancillary might not do that well. Uh, uh, Kilpest has already run up a lot. I think 220, 230 is the current levels. I think if it dips to around 200 levels, that would be the better buying opportunity to get into Kilpest. All right. Uh, what else? Granules, I would suppose that granules has run up again. So again, a decline towards 200 levels would be a better buying opportunity in granules India. Okay. DMart is good. I think DMart on declines to say 2000 2100 would be a better buying opportunity. Titan is good. Titan I'm holding. It's a standard disclaimer, and I feel Titan over a 5 year period would be a good stock. So if you want a portfolio stock, you can get into a Titan. MGL, in my opinion, on declines to 800 to 900 levels would be good. Okay. Well, I would avoid Yes Bank. I would avoid Yes Bank at current levels. I think Airtel and Reliance on declines looks good, but again, standard disclaimer apply. Do your own analysis on this. Okay. Frontier Springs on declines could be bought into. It's a good share, but have a long-term time horizon. I think these shares will fall a lot when the market falls, so be careful about it. The run-up has already taken place big time, so do not get in immediately. Wait for declines to get into small cap stocks. Bata and IGL. Bata is good, as I explained. I think at current levels, Bata looks good. Uh, IGL, I would like something like an MGL rather than an IGL. Yes. Bajaj Finance, after the run up that has already taken place, I would like to avoid. I think Bajaj Finance has already run up a lot. Maybe declines could be bought into. Okay, FL is good. It has already run up. Maybe 1500 to 1600 would be a better buying opportunity in FL. Avoid Sterling and Wilson, Solar. Avoid those. I would avoid such companies. Uh, DMart is good. Declines should be bought into. Yes. Tata Power, I would avoid. I would avoid the power companies at this point of time. I'll avoid the power companies, power ancillary with the such kind of business environment. I would avoid such companies. Pidilite is good. Pidilite on current levels on declines is good, but have a good 2 3 year time frame in Pidilite. Okay, Trident is probably a penny stock. I won't comment on it. Bharat Rasayan is interesting. Declines again should be bought into. I think agrochemical companies better to buy on major declines. I think no more than 5 or 6 stocks should be there in a portfolio. Maximum 10, but between 6 to 10 is probably fine. Yes. Avoid Marks and Pharma. Very few pharma companies I like, and I have already explained which companies I'm in favor of. Again, I want to just request you that the super chat feature is on your tab, so you can ask me questions on super chat. It will help me grow the channel. It will help you ask me questions in detail. On it, there have been a number of questions that are passing by on my window, so I'm just catching some which I'm able to. SRF is good around 3500. SRF is a good stock to buy it. Again, these stocks have run up. No comments on Alok Industries. I always told you to avoid such companies like Alok. Uh, Birla Corp avoid for me. I won't get into such companies. Yes. Uh, See, in my opinion, get into good quality consumption stocks. These are good levels to get into them. Next 10-year period would be very good for such companies, and probably these are the lowest level that these consumption stocks are trading, whether mid cap or large cap consumption stock. They will do a lot better once the economy opens up. It is good. It's slightly expensive HDFC AMC. Maybe on declines to 2000 would be a good buying opportunity, but at this prices, they it looks slightly expensive. Declines should be bought into. Avoid the defense stocks. It has just run up because of what the China factor has been. I think over time these stocks will come back to their same prices. I think better to buy into consistent growth stocks rather than getting into new stocks like the defense stocks. Okay. Oh, I would buy an Asian Paints even at these levels on declines. I'll buy an Asian Paints and I would buy an MGL rather than a Berger Paints or an IGL. Yeah. I have already talked about IOL chemicals, so you can have a look at that. For IOC, it's an avoid for me. CCL products is an avoid. Okay, it is an avoid. I think pure consumption play will always do well, and that is my personal belief. Kindly subscribe to my channel also. There have been very low subscriptions over time. I would love to have subscriptions from you. Those who are watching, kindly just subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Aisha Motors is good. Declines to 17,000, 17,500. One can get into an Aisha Motors. First source I will avoid. I think all IT companies will not perform that well. I think TCS is okay in that, probably a Tata Elxsi to an extent, but I would still buy into something that is non IT. LT Foods, again, I won't prefer that. I would prefer other consumption plays rather than, you can say, the rice companies. They are in a different domain. Biocon is good. Biocon on declines can be bought into. It's a good pharmaceutical companies that one can get into. All right. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. I think the questions are repeating, and probably I've answered many of the questions that have come up. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get my videos straight away when I post it. And thanks for all the support. Thank you.